Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Everything in this video was found on a public domain. It has become clear to me over the last few days that the circumstances relating to my former association with Jeffrey Epstein has become a major disruption to my family's work and the valuable work going on in the many organizations and charities that I am proud to support. Therefore, I've asked Her Majesty if I may step back from public duties for the foreseeable future, and she has given her permission. I continue to unequivocally regret my ill-judged association with Jeffrey Epstein. His suicide has left many unanswered questions, particularly for the victims. And I deeply sympathize with everyone who's been affected and want some form of closure. I can only hope that in time they'll be able to rebuild their lives. Of course, I'm willing to help with any appropriate law enforcement agency with their investigation if required. I think they're insulting our intelligence again, you guys. Remember in the sit-down interview, he said he did not regret the friendship that he had with Jeffrey Epstein? He not one time offered any kind of an apology. No. In fact, the next day in church with his mama, he was overheard talking about how well he thought that interview went. Let's face it, he didn't even write that letter. And Sarah Ferguson, who makes Quasimodo look handsome, by the way, I base it solely on her character, nothing to do with her looks. She can sit there and scream it's somebody else's fault that he was allowed to go ahead and do the interview to begin with. She's talking about the buck stops here with his advisor. Last time I checked, Sarah Ferguson doesn't have a voice in that family. Here's the deal. We all know he's guilty of sin, but what's his stepping down going to do for anybody? Do you guys realize since that interview happened, another young lady came out talking about this situation, how she was held as a sex slave, how Epstein took total advantage of her at the age of 15, ganked her up when she was on a field trip with her music class to New York, making huge promises to her, saying, look, if you'll leave Zorro Ranch and go with me to my private island, I'll let you meet Prince Andrew. She was smart enough to say, Prince who? His letter gags me in the fact that he's sitting there saying he's so sorry to all of those broken lives. He hopes they find closure. He's sorry he sat down and opened his pie hole. That's where his sorrow comes from. And then we hear how Prince Charles is furious, quote unquote, with his brother, and his brother messing around with Epstein, getting involved in any of it. Could potentially cancel Prince Andrew once he becomes king. Somebody tell me what the heck Prince Andrew ever did to benefit the next person anyway. What does him stepping down, what kind of a thing is that? Is that gonna he made us. It's gonna break us. I don't think so. What in the world can Prince Charles be upset about anyway but the fact that he sat down and opened his mouth? He was BFFs with Jimmy Savile, whatever. He wasn't just Chuck's good old buddy Jimmy. He was a family member to these people. I have heard many recordings of Jimmy Savile, bragging about taking a girl in the trunk of his car to the palace, walking right past Prince Philip like he owned the place. That's how weak and involved every one of these jokers are. Granny lit up like a light bulb in his presence. And Margaret Thatcher, she's no better. Please check out the documentary in my description box. It's worth it, I promise. You have to sit back and ask yourself, why in the world are these people affiliated with pedophiles? Why is it every time a pedophile is being called out to the public, it has something to do with the British royal family? Why? You guys remember the Queen's good buddy, Rolf Harris? He had sexual offenses out the yang against him. You guys, birds of a feather flock together. They're just a bunch of buzzards. And for everybody who wants to stand back and be so PC and say, he is what he is, but he's innocent until proven guilty, please wake up. Don't stay asleep forever. Life is way too short, and I'd hate to think that you died having faith in these people. And as she stands there looking at her portrait, I wonder what's going through her mind. These jokers right here are living proof that if you have the right status, title, money, you can get away with anything. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Stay safe and be blessed.